What's going on, everyone? Today I want to go over if Phainon is going to be worth your pulse in the second half of version 3.7 of Honkai Star Rail. Let's talk about it. Now, if you want the short answer, it's going to be yes, but there's a lot of caveats to this topic. Now, if there's anything you should know about me, it's the fact that I really despise rerunning DPSs even when said DPS is still good, and I'll give you some examples right now. Think back to version 3.3. This was when we saw the first ever rerun for the Herta and Aglaya. They did not get severely power crept, but they're not at the top of the meta anymore. And if you're a Honkai Star Rail veteran, you've probably noticed, right? The Herta got reran in 3.3. Phainon, one of, if not the best DPSs in-game right now, came out in 3.4. It's kind of one of those things where you can get the solid DPS now, or you can wait 6 weeks, 12 weeks, 18 weeks, however long it takes for the next patch to get an even better DPS. And that's kind of what I'm seeing right now. Phainon, again, absolutely powerful DPS, and even honestly the DPS power creep in Honkai Star Rail has slowed down. The Herta came out almost a full year ago and she is still meta. She's still tier 0.5 minimum in all three endgame modes. Matter of fact, my Herta team comp right now with some slight tweaks is performing just as good as she was all the way back in January, which is a pretty good sign in my opinion. But like I was saying though, you can opt to get Phainon now in 3.7, or you can save until 4.0 for the next meta DPS. If it's not going to be 4.0, it's going to be 4.1. If it's not 4.1, then it's guaranteed to be 4.2, the patch that will hold the 3rd anniversary. Even if you're a new player and you just really need a DPS, I still wouldn't recommend it, because the thing with Phainon is, as good as he is, he's still not going to get you a max star clear. Because when you're a new player, you're still spending time slowly building up your account, building up your supports, your DPS is actually getting the units to get the max star clears in the endgame. Having 3 powerful 5 stars is not going to be enough, considering the fact that you need minimum 8 that can consistently max star, and even then you want more than 8 because you want to have more versatile units. You want more flexible team comps and rotations. But honestly, if you want to get Phainon, you might as well get him. He is one of the most versatile DPSs we have in game. He works with almost every harmony unit. He works with every sustain unit. He's actually kind of crazy with Bailu. You'd be surprised, honestly. Crazy ult charge going on, plus she can heal, and she can give crit damage. With the new relic set that came out not too long ago, you have plenty of options for Phainon. Even if you think you don't, you probably do. You can run someone like a Renmei, Bronya, like I said, Bailu, Sparkle. And those are just the mediocre options. Those are still good with Phainon even now, 3 patches after he came out. Like, I haven't even started talking about Sunday, Danheng, Permentor, Terra, Cyrene. Like, he has options, and there will be more units in the future that will absolutely synergize with Phainon. So if you want a valid excuse to actually go ahead and get Phainon, maybe he's your husbando or whatever, by all means get him. Whether you're a new player, returnee, veteran, it don't matter. You will be able to max start the endgame quite some time with Phainon. But if you care about meta, right? Because from a meta standpoint, it's not worth it, right? Like I said, a more powerful DPS is guaranteed to come sometime between version 4.0 and 4.2. But one final time, on the other hand, he will be worth your jades 100%. I will be using my Phainon for quite some time. Forever? Maybe not. But I will do what it takes to make this unit actually work. He's the easiest unit to actually run sustainless because of how his ult functions, and this is further backed up if you do have Cyrene, and unlike someone like Caceres, he really doesn't need his best in slot Lycone. If you run something like On the Fall of an Aeon, you can get almost the same amount of damage output. And take this from someone with an E0S1 Phainon. I ran the tests on my account. Swapping his best in slot for On the Fall of an Aeon cut his damage from 1.4 million per bounce to 1.2 million. And yes, that will be impactful long term as the battle goes on. That'll probably cost you 1 extra cycle. But that's the thing. Is it really worth spending potentially over 100 pulls worth of Stellar Jades just to clear in 1 less cycle than if you just didn't get the Lycone at all, right? Honestly, I don't think so. So you don't need to get this crazy vertical investment going on with Phainon to actually make him work. He's super easy to play too, and honestly, I see the long-term value with him for quite some time. He's not going to be the best DPS a year from now. He's not going to be the best DPS half a year from now. I get that. But the thing with Honkai Star Rail is you actually do get rewarded for vertical investment. Using your older units and actually taking the time to make them work properly will yield you more results than you probably would have expected. So that's about it. I got nothing else to say. Just to kind of paraphrase what I was talking about here. Phainon, yes, he is pretty much worth your pulls, but at the same time, I would be wary of the next DPS, which again, we are due for the next powerful #1 on release, quote unquote, kind of DPS. They will come sometime between version 4.0 and 4.2. If you choose to go ahead and get Phainon anyways, you don't have to vertically invest into him now per se, but you're ideally going to want to do it within the next year or so, right? Unless you want to bench him. And if you already have someone like Casters or another really powerful, solid DPS, I'd say honestly just skip Phainon and wait until 4.0 or 4.1 or 4.2 like I said. But a lot of you care about meta, so if you care about meta, just be wary. Maybe Phainon won't be worth your pulls. But right now, extremely low investment, high results kind of unit, which is always a good thing. But I got nothing else to say, so I'll end this one off here and I'll see y'all. Goodbye.